What up, this is Rapids. And so Daz wants all the smoke with Snoop. He's targeting Snoop for making a sale of all of the Death Row catalog that includes Dogg Pound's logo and whatever projects they have left over there. From what I understand, it sounds like Tupac's music was moved to Amaru. So it sounds like Amaru Records, whoever is in charge of that now, because at first it was Afeni. Now I don't really know who's even in charge of Amaru, but it sounds like all the Tupac's material from Death Row is over there now. And Snoop still holds on to a lot of Death Row classic material. And it sounds like he's trying to sell it all in the catalog to, I don't know who the buyer is, but he's trying to get rid of it. And Daz is getting super upset about all this because it includes Dogg Pound's music plus their logo. And this is what's really messing up Daz.
Okay, so you own everything. So that's all your stuff. Now, you were saying something about the paw. Now, what are you talking about with the paw?
Well, like I was saying, the paw is trademarked. Like I told Snoop, you got rejected and I got accepted. You know what I'm saying? So that was the moneymaker. The paw is like the Apple sign, like I said before. And like I said, they tried to go behind my back and trademark all my work and then flung my face like, yeah, we got it, nigga. That's all we wanted, nigga, because I'm finna sell everything for $1 billion to Universal. You know what I mean? But shh, don't be selling my
Now, what do you mean by selling? He said he was going to sell it, or what? They're selling Death Row, the new Death Row that just came?
Snoop, everything Snoop involved with, he gonna sell all that shit for $1 billion. You know, cash it for their catalog. And then he sell that shit and he just start over and make new music. You know, it's easy. You sell what you know what I'm saying? You got all that money. I mean, I don't count niggas' pocket, but I got my own pocket. You know what I mean?
Now, how many albums is over there? At Death Row? Because you were saying that it was the Doggy Style and there was two other ones you was talking about?
Yeah, you know, the shit that I got on the wall right here, you know what I'm saying? The Chronic is already going back to Dr. Dre. Tupac took all his greatest hits album, all his albums, all his shit back over to Amaru. So what is left on Death Row? But I'm coming to get my shit, so what's going to be left on Death Row? So he got to make new catalog. And that's where all the new cats come in at, you know what I'm saying? Making new content.
And so Daz is saying he wants, you know, Snoop to not sell his Dogg Pound logo. He's saying it basically has a lot of sentimental value. And he's going about this just throwing a fit. He's really going at Death Row and Snoop now because this is making him furious. Daz is saying, like, this is a logo that means a lot to him. And, you know, how can you just sell that, you know? So Snoop has to bark back, you know, now. He has to respond because Daz is just going at him so crazy. So Snoop has something to say.
You ain't got shit to do but hate on me, huh? In a minute, I'ma fuck you up, cuz, on some real shit. Not physically, but business-wise. Cause you broke as a motherfucker right now, so I'ma fuck you up in a minute, cuz. Leave me alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone, cuz. I'ma fuck you up.
And so Snoop is saying that basically, you know, hey, you know, it's up now then. Like, he's saying this is gonna, you know, basically be a problem. It's smoke now. You know what I'm saying? I think he's trying to say it's not gonna be like street smoke, but he's gonna respond and, you know, he's gonna react to all this pushback that Daz is giving him now. I believe this is probably something that could have been handled behind the scenes. I don't know why this is something that has to be so public. Like, if Daz was feeling a certain way about all this, why couldn't have he came to Snoop? Because he was on the label. When Snoop first took over Death Row, he was putting out Daz and Corrupt again. He had them right back out there like they never left, putting out music. And he was working with the East Siders again. And I even think Lady of Rage maybe. He was basically bringing back a lot of the original Death Row members to put out new music. And, you know, it was running pretty smooth for a little bit, and then this happened. And, you know what I'm saying, why couldn't have they just figured this out behind the scenes? I don't get that. I don't get why they did they even try to? You know, that's the question. Did Daz first attempt to reach out to Snoop before going out like this online? And that's not how you're gonna get anything done, because now it's just a big mess. And Snoop's not happy, Daz is pissed, and that's not how you handle stuff. So, how I'm looking at it is, why not hold on to the Death Row music? Like, just because you're taking over the company, Snoop, doesn't mean you got to sell everything. I don't know. I mean, because is that typical for a label, of such significance to sell the catalog? Sell such a legendary catalog. Why is that even part of the scenario? I don't understand why he wants to sell it. Like, I know it's a payday, and you could put money in everyone's pocket and work on new projects, and it'll be good. I mean, maybe the company needs the money. Maybe it's at a point where, when he took over, I don't even know where Death Row was at for the last, I don't know, maybe 10, 20 years. I mean, where has the label been? It's been nowhere. It's been insignificant. So he's trying to rescue the label. Maybe that requires him to sell the catalog to get back on their feet properly, so they can be in a position to win. And that's the only thing I can make out of this that would make sense, is that Death Row Records must need that money. And then I would understand, okay, I guess sell the catalog, including, I guess, the Dog Pound stuff, and that's going to include the Dog Pound logo and all that. The stuff that Daz wants. He wants to keep it. He's saying it's worth like $1 billion. I don't think so. I don't think Daz is like tweaking a little bit, because that Dog Pound logo is not worth that much. Whoever the buyer is wants it, and they want everything included with the catalog, but it's not your logo in Dog Pound Records on its own that's worth the money. It's the whole catalog that's worth the money. You know what I'm saying? It's everything they got left over from, because the only real sale I know of is Tupac's sale to Amaru. That's the only thing I really think that is gone from Death Row. I don't know like what else they're holding on to, but it's probably a lot of their classic material. And whoever the buyer is, they want that, and they want everything included with that, so they can properly utilize the material. Because, like, really, who's checking for that classic material? I mean, if somebody wants that, I mean, I know people are checking for it still, but I mean, who's trying to really purchase it like that? Like, if you got a buyer that's gonna help Death Row get back on their feet, I'd say just sell it then, because Death Row, Snoop's saying they can basically make new music now, and I think that's what he's saying is like sell the old stuff so we can get on our feet and be in a good position to win. Because we can't operate in the negative, like owing money and being, not having enough capital to win. So I think Snoop's thinking like, okay, if this sale is going to make Death Row profitable instantly, then they could just focus on new music and, move forward. So I understand what Snoop's doing. He's doing what he got to do as an executive. He learned from the best. I mean, he learned from Master P, and then he was running his own thing. What was his label called, like Dog Pound Records or something, or Doggy Style Records, I think it might have been called. I kind of forget what it was called, but Snoop was doing his own thing for a while with Eastsiders, and he was putting out his own music, and he learned from Master P a lot of his his CEO skills. So I think Snoop knows what he's doing. I think he knows what he's doing. So Daz is just getting emotional about all this, because I know he has an attachment to that Dog Pound logo. I understand that. Like, that's his music, that's his art, that's his, it's something that is very important and sentimental to him. So he doesn't want to just sell it. He probably feels like a sellout selling it. But, I think like, okay, so if Snoop sells that and it includes the Dog Pound logo, then Dad's just gonna not have to, be able to use that Dog Pound logo for any new projects then, I guess. Or you're gonna have to work out a deal with whoever the owner of the logo, or maybe you can modify it and just make a new logo or something, or don't use the logo, whatever. I mean, I don't know if it's that serious as Daz is making it. I think that they're better off working together than going at each other, because nobody was really checking for any of these artists for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Daz says he's still got love for the music and everything, and I heard a few of Daz's tracks. His recent tracks are actually pretty decent still. I think he just needs the right push, and Daz is looking at it like, he probably is looking at it like, I can just release it straight to YouTube, and I don't really need a label type stuff. But really the level that Snoop wants to play at when it comes to Death Row is I think it's something important. I think it's gonna be more visible than what Daz could do on his own. Like Death Row's a legendary label, and if Snoop can bring that back from, you know what I'm saying, from where it was and bring that back and make something happen out of it, no matter what status, like even if it's not the most popular label, but maybe I think Snoop kind of can make it more visible. He's definitely going to make it more visible than it's probably been. Like nobody's been checking for them. So I think Snoop has the ability, you know, I believe he could probably do something. You know, it's not going to be nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think No Limit could do anything really like right now. I think No Limit's had its time and it's done. And I don't know if Death Row, you know, if somebody can get in Death Row and really make it pop, that'd be great. You know what I mean? For Snoop and for Death Row, I guess that'd be something to, you know, it's like a challenge, I guess. And I'm not saying he can do it, but you know, Snoop is in there trying to make it happen, and that's what it needs right now with somebody, especially with the status of Snoop. Like Snoop has a status in the rap game where he's kind of a legend out here. So, you know, for him to, you know, be involved, I think he can actually probably pull something off that might work. You know, you never know. I think let Snoop do his thing. Let him cook. You know what I'm saying? I think Daz should let him cook, and I think they need to figure this out. Just break off Daz something. You know what I'm saying? Give him. I mean, look, Daz needs to understand your portion of the label is not, you know, whatever you did and contributed, it's not worth $1 billion. Like, I don't know where Daz is getting this number from where he thinks it's worth $1 billion. I think he needs to come back to reality. And, you know, I think Snoop and Daz should negotiate a reasonable price. You know what I'm saying? Show them the paperwork and negotiate a reasonable price. And, you know what I'm saying, everyone should move forward from there and make their music happen from there. So, yeah, that's about it, y'all. This is what's going on with Death Row and Snoop and Daz and all them. It's not looking good. You know, it's not a good look right now, but hopefully they can work their way through this as business, you know what I'm saying, not personal. So maybe they can figure this out. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Hey, check out the links in the comment section, description box, because I got links to my secret videos that ain't available to the public. Check those out. Also, let's get over 100 likes on this video. Also, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow Rap Hits on social media and all that. I'm out.